Hello and welcome to ET Insight, where we get you a 360-degree view of the big picture in business and economy. I'm Sridhan Ramakrishnan. On the show today, why the Indian biopharma sector is big on promises but low on delivery. How China is beating India hands down in the race for biosimilars. And why the Indian biopharma industry can't be written off just yet. Our top story first. Last year, private equity funds put in nearly $200 million into biotech companies, and 40% of that went into biopharma. Now that's chump change for a sector that was touted to be the next big thing in life sciences. So why are investors reluctant to bet big on biopharma? Lakshmi Subramanian finds out.
When Bangalore-based Biocon went public 6 years ago, it swept Dalal Street off its feet. Its stock issue mopped up nearly $1 billion, getting oversubscribed 33 times. And on the day of the listing, the stock was up 50%. Soon, biopharma was expected to be the next big thing after IT. But reality is far from that.
It was felt something new, and then I think a lot of excitement was created. But if you actually see the entire size of the biopharmaceutical industry, it is not comparable to the IT industry. So sometimes, the things tend to be a little bit overhyped.
You will see all kinds of numbers that are floating around. We have had a very conservative view of the numbers in the industry. Even if you look at Biospectrum, which is now getting to be accepted, they're talking about the industry being in the range of $1.8 billion or close to $2 billion. But I'm not sure what is the credibility of those estimates of 25,000 crores. So I have a problem with those estimates.
As things stand today, Indian companies have been unable to come up with even a single original molecule. And biopharma has not been the big outperformer in the portfolio of biotech companies. While biopharma still accounts for the largest chunk of revenues, its share has fallen by about 3% in the past year. One of the biggest reasons for that is the fact that companies have not been able to launch products as fast as they thought they could.
Baby can come only after 9 months. It's exactly similar in the biological. It doesn't come within 9 days. And I think this is where the industrialists and forecasters have forgotten that biosimilar biologicals is not like similar to the generic. They should have anticipated, given 10 to 12 years time, to see the exponential growth. I think they have not thought about it.
It's ironical that this was not thought of, considering that the product cycle of a drug is a long-drawn process involving molecular biology, clinical research, regulatory clearances, and manufacturing and marketing the drug.
Any R&D is a process which is fraught with risk, and the risk reduces as you go down the learning curve. In pharma, people are down the learning curve, so to that extent, although that still remains a risky process. And biotech is relatively, nascent in that sense.
To become mature, the industry needs more capital, and that is the big problem.
Adequate financing, like how the US or the European financing takes place for startups in biology. It's like something like 40 to 50 million right at the start of the game. That will give the impetus, not 500,000, 1 million, 2 million. That's not going to pull off a biotech industry. So this is, that's the main crux of the matter.
There have been large capacities created which are lying unutilized even today, and I wouldn't name, but there are many examples in the space of biopharma. And that doesn't help the cause at all, because when you invest huge amounts of money and you do not get return on that, that affects your further capability and capacity to invest, and therefore results in slowing down the whole process.
The risk-reward profile is so skewed in the favor of risk, and its reward is uncertain. Venture funding has always been a problem, and if anything, it will get worse over years, because people like to fund those companies which have a steady top line, clear growth path, which unfortunately is not the case, in the biopharma space, because most of these companies by definition are small, coming out with products, early stages, yet to be commercialized, yet to be tested, long ways away from hitting the marketplace.
Biopharmaceuticals is a very highly technical and scientific industry, and this requires a lot of funding in terms of capital investment and also helping companies taking their products forward. So this kind of funding has been limited in terms of access for companies.
The biopharma market can broadly be divided into 4 categories: vaccines, diagnostics, oral diabetes drugs and insulins, and biosimilars. Vaccines account for the largest chunk of this pie, and India is the world's 2nd largest producer of vaccines. Biosimilars is the segment that most pharma companies are betting on, because at least 48 global products with combined sales of nearly $73 billion are expected to go off patent in the next 10 years. Biosimilars are copies of original biology-based drugs whose patents have expired, pretty much like what generics are for chemical drugs. But unlike in the case of chemistry-based drugs, it is almost impossible to produce an exact replica of a biologic because changes to the cell structure can take place during the production process. More importantly, finding identical cell expressions that yield exact results as that of the original molecule are next to impossible. Currently, there are 28 companies selling 10 biosimilars under 65 brands in India. Indian companies find it easier to reverse engineer patented drugs than innovate new molecules. But it's not as simple as it sounds.
When you're dealing with biological products, you cannot be exactly sure. You may be doing a set of experiments and you expect, this is what is going to happen. But suddenly you find in your lab it did not exactly happen because of that reason or some other reason. The cells died, something or the other. There was contamination. And now you're suddenly 6 months behind, or a year behind from a product launch. So you've got to go through that whole process.
What is also pulling Indian companies behind is the tedious regulatory environment. It can take up to 57 months to get all clearances before a company starts commercial manufacturing.
Once you file for an IPR, the clock starts ticking. So when we need to wait for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. So for example, when 6 months wait for a molecule that has a potential for $2 billion market, it's a $1 value just eroded in waiting. This is what the industry is concerned about.
All of this means that even today the Indian biopharma industry is nowhere close to delivering the tall promises it made years ago, and investors may have to wait for a long time to get the returns they dreamed of.
In this context, Chinese players have more than delivered these past few years. That and more is coming up after the short break. Don't go away.